All right, welcome to the second part of the Paifu review. Unfortunately, Andrew isn't able to join us, and we started recording, but I realized that the audio wasn't working, so we've lost a little bit. Anthony, you want to just remind us of what we're talking about here?
Yeah, right now we're talking about the 9-pin discard, and my initial question was whether or not we want to keep this 9-pin for door acceptance, being the 8-pin, and then the follow-up question was, do we want to call the hatsu in with these bad shapes, with
Yeah,
each chanta?
and we went around the room, and or except Nima, he hasn't given his input yet, but it seems like myself, Simon, wouldn't call because it's it's going to be 1000 only, and it's not really great weights. Like the shapes aren't very good. And then we also wouldn't keep the 9 pin around because the difference between 1000 and 2000 is not really that big. uh, Bryant Bryant's justification is that you may as well try to finish the hand since you might be paying for Tsumo anyways. Is that right, Bryant?
Uh, yeah, I'm expecting to pay for Tsumos unless I call.
And then Nima was just about to start talking before I cut him off.
Yeah. So I'm totally fine cutting the 9 pin here because again the value increase from 1000 to 2000 doesn't really mean much, and I'd rather have a like better shape even if it's only slightly better because we can already see 2 7 pin gone. So even if we have a Dora penchan, it's not going to be very good. Um I would not call the Hatsu because I'm also looking at Chitoi.
Oh, I did not see Chitoi as a
You
possibility.
want value, right? Like
Yeah, I
that's one way to get it.
see.
Um, that being said, like I could totally see calling. Like maybe like I would even call 5 so right now if we are inclined to call. I think 5 so is the easiest to call before the Hatsu.
Okay.
Mhm.
But by which I mean I would feel much safer with this bad shape, low value hand if we could finish the worst shape, which I believe is the 5 so, and keep our Hatsu in case we need to fold.
Makes sense.
Because it looks like Kamicha will probably cut 3 mon if they draw it.
All right.
Any thoughts on the turn before this one?
With the 5.
Yeah. Would anyone consider getting rid of their penchant here?
You mean the 9? Oh, you're 1-2.
Yeah.
Uh,
See, you can't ask this after I say that the 3 mon looks good.
Oh, why not?
Now we know it looks good.
Well,
So now no one will cut the penchant.
but like, you can still cut it if it's good.
I think we've
All right, three
we should,
mon looks good. We don't have to cut it.
yeah,
All
we
right.
should probably wrap this one up.
No, but it was a good hand to discuss.
Yeah. All right.
And nothing else.
Cool. Moving on to South 1. This is Tuhomba because of Ryukyoku. I guess I'll start with you, Anthony.
Yep. South 1, discard 5. Let's see. Why did I put question mark 1 mon? I don't even know why, if this is even interesting to discuss, because it's like pretty. Okay.
I
I don't
mean,
know. Well, I mean, I think all the choices are probably relatively the same, so I guess we can skip this. Unless someone thinks otherwise. I think
yeah,
I think the choices between 1 mon, east and south are probably roughly the same. No, it's fair.
probably one of the Jihais. The book move.
Yeah,
Uh,
because like what are you looking at for like your potential blocks here?
Well, I was thinking about like if I kept the south and the east, I can make this hand callable if I need to. Whereas like the one mon is actually, I mean, I guess we can make a ryankan, but seems less valuable. Even if I draw the 3 mon, we still have the 3/5/7 shape in manzu. So I
Yeah.
guess the question is whether or not it's worth it to keep the GI.
Yeah, I don't think you can say any decision is wrong here.
Well, between those three at least.
Right. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep. Okay, we can move on if this is not
Okay.
interesting. And discard 7 in my hand. What did I say?
Took this picture.
Set onwards. Defense. So I guess my question was like, was anyone looking dangerous here?
Oh, at this
I
point.
felt like my hand was not very fast, and then I only had like inside tiles, and I was like, I am dealer, so I guess maybe I don't have to worry too much. But like after I discard the east and say kamicha reaches, then I don't know what I'm doing with my hand. Like my hand is I have like no defense capabilities here essentially. So I didn't know if I needed to keep this east like in case kamicha reaches
Over
or not.
right?
Yeah, like maybe 2 fingers only. I don't know. I mean instinctively I threw the east. I mean it's just like all right, I'll just. It's only one player that I'm like nervous about. I technically have like tiles against everyone else, but I just thought maybe my hand's too slow.
I
Not
don't
sure.
think your hand's too slow.
Yeah, I can call it, I guess.
I mean, it's generally good shapes.
Okay,
Okay.
I want to focus a little bit more on the 2 pin or the east. Are you gonna take the shape improvement if you draw 3 pin?
Yes.
Would
If I
you
draw
cut?
3 pin, I mean it is also door acceptance. I can discard the 5 mon and then just have or just take the shanpon, I guess. Wait, say shanpon? No. Yes. I guess I can take the shanpon. Say shanpon? Sorry. Oh my god. My brain. So say we discard the east, we draw the 3 pin, and then I guess we have options. Yeah, a lot of good shanpon shapes.
Well, I mean, if you discard 5 mon, isn't that going backwards?
Backwards, yeah. So we have to discard like 1 of 7, so 8 mon, 5 mon, or 8 pin, 5 pin.
Right. I think any manzu there would technically be going backwards.
You mean right now or after you draw 3
After
pin?
you draw the 3 pin.
I mean, the manzu shape's not great.
It's not great.
So I don't even know if you actually want it, but
Right.
Yeah, I think my question from earlier is relevant here. Like, where are you seeing your blocks?
Wait, what? What? 1, 2. I mean, okay. Wait, why do you need the 5 mon for your 5 blocks?
well, 5, 7, 7, 8 could turn into like 2 blocks, especially if you draw the
Right.
6 mon.
But
So
you have
why do
1
you?
block in 2, 3, right? And you have 2. You can either count your 5, 6, 7, 8 pin as 2 blocks, or your 7, 8, 8, 8 so as 2 blocks, right?
Right, exactly. So you need to keep the
So I
you
think
need to
it's
keep the manzu shapes together in order to actually stay shantan after you draw the 3 pin. Right, because you're saying either the pinzu shape or the sozu shape's going to be 2 blocks. So we don't know which one yet.
sorry, if you draw the 3 pin, the pinzu could be 2 or 3 blocks, right?
Sorry, yes, 2 or 3 blocks, yes.
Yeah, so
So the manzu shape has to stay together if you want to keep the shantan. But the pinzu shape and the sozu shape, like technically, could be both.
Yeah, for shanten, I believe that's true. But if you're looking from a block perspective,
Right. So I'll go back to Nima's question.
Yeah.
So Sozu. I still don't. I don't think I have any head like locked in yet. So Sozu. In my head I'm thinking Sozu 1 or 2 blocks. Well, it's either one head or 1 head and 1 block, or like one. Was it Tatsu? Like the 3, like 1 shape, completed shape.
Yeah, the Anko.
And then the Anko. And then Pinzu, I'm looking at two shapes here, and then 2 is a floating tile in case I draw Dora. And then Manzu, I mean, it's potential. Like I said, it's potential to 2 blocks there, but I would rather not, because I feel like I have shape improvements elsewhere. Like if I can get shape improvements, I would rather have shape improvements elsewhere. And then I mean there's like some sanshoku chances here too, but it's that I think we don't force that. We just let it happen if it happens. So how many blocks did I say? 1 or 2 in Sozu, 2 in Pinzu, 2 in Manzu, but I don't like the 2 in the floating tile.
Okay, so I think we need to make clear here that if we cut tone and draw 3 pin, we're still not Ishanten. I don't know why everyone thought we were Ishanten.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, my brain is that? Yeah, you're right.
It is not Ishanten.
Yeah, we have a lot of. I baited everyone.
Yeah. In fact, if you don't like the Manzu shape, then I think keeping the 2 pin around for the potential improvement in Dora acceptance, and also being able to trim down the Manzu to 1 nicer block instead of these 2 kind of crummy blocks, makes a lot of sense. And so cutting the tone is totally fine.
Okay. And then if kamicha reaches,
And just deal with it when it happens. There's a lot of Sujis left.
okay.
There's only
There
3
are.
Sujis left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. But it's not like my hand is like bad. This is Ryan, so it's not like I want to push this.
I mean, you're a dealer with good shape and potential big value. I
Yeah,
don't see why
okay.
you wouldn't
Maybe I'm
want
just
to.
playing too defensive. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when the Dora is a 1 pin, which is kind of hard for people to use.
Mhm.
I don't think you have to be as worried in Akanashi.
Sure. Yeah, I think even in red 5s, it's probably still better to push this tone based on what we discussed.
Yeah, like you don't want to miss anything. Like this is a hand that you could win, and it could decide the hanchan since it's already south, and this is your dealer.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of potential here that I probably didn't see while I was doing the review. Cool. And then I guess onwards, 13, discard 13, unless people wanted to keep discussing. Here, what did I do? Oh, so there's a reach on the table. And then I pushed 8 so, I believe. Nope. Oh, maybe it's the turn here. Okay. I have got Butsu, I have 7 pin. And I don't know why I necessarily threw the 8 so. Well, potentially I was thinking about like a wave forward with a hand. Still a little bit far. But
quite
if the 8 so passes, then I have 3 save tiles versus just a 7 pin. But probably 7 pin, 6 pin just passed. Okay, so better just to break 6 pin, 7 pin here, right? Because
I mean,
I'm way too far.
8 so is also Suji, I guess, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's why I pushed the 8 so in game, but I
Mhm.
think it's too dangerous given the
Given the state of your hand, yeah, you're not going to be.
you guys agree
Yeah.
with that? Okay.
It's a bit
Yeah, like how do you imagine finishing this hand if you break up your 8
Well, I can call like 6 mana if it comes out. 3 like 369 mon, and then
Uh,
maybe 1 of 2 5/8 pin comes out later.
Yeah, you're gonna have
and I can
to.
discard
You're
it.
gonna have to pass 2 pin, draw some more pins.
I mean,
here.
I only have to pass 1 of 2 5 and 8 pin technically.
But then you have to get like three
Yeah.
369 mon.
But I mean, it's still a chance, right? It's like
Yeah.
That's very low at this point, I'd say.
yeah, probably too low. I agree.
If you had the 3 mon still left in your hand, then maybe, but not with the shape.
Cool. I also agree. I
Yeah.
think it was too dangerous.
Just 6-7 pin. Okay.
Why'd you keep the second 2 pin? Was it after only because it's after the riichi?
Yeah, it was right after the reach. Yeah. So I mean, I already started bailing here.
You already started folding.
Yeah, but then I got back into like it was like
Oh.
later on, and then I was like, okay, technically if I throw 8 so I can get tenpai. So I didn't know if I should. But yeah, you're right. Maybe it's just, I mean, it's really far. So
Yeah.
6-7 pin is probably still better.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I had for this hand. For me.
Yeah. Do you want to move over to another player?
Yeah, sure. Shiguro, please. Sure. Go to Bryant. I only have. I want to discard 8. Here. I was wondering if we wanted to
Oh, I see.
try discarding 8 mon here and keep the ryanmen shape, and then like kind of
Go
lock
6
in
blocks.
like potential sanshoku, 4-5-6 sanshoku.
6 blocks, huh?
6 blocks here, yeah.
Hmm.
So whether or not you want to do 5 blocks, yeah, either. I mean, what we played was 5 blocks. One is like if we do 5 blocks, is 2-3 better to cut than the ryankan, and then second is like technically we could play 6 blocks here, and then well, my thought was like maybe 6 mon, or sorry, 8 mon drop. Technically starts slimming down to 5 blocks, even though you're playing with 6 blocks, and then still gives you potential for sanshoku. There is overlap in the sozi, right? So I don't know how that weighs in here.
Yeah, I just wanted to start slimming down.
Yeah, if you were playing strictly 5 blocks, then it's clearly 2-3 so, I think.
Is it?
Is it? I think so. You want to keep your sansh. I mean, you might miss your sanshoku, but if you start throwing away, 8, 6, 4, then you throw away the sanshoku, right?
I think it's like you don't have any completed blocks, right? So
Do you need the
a
Amon for your
number of.
Sanshoku?
You have one completed block, don't you?
Okay, sure. Yeah, you have one completed block. In the pin too. And then it's like you still need 3 tiles in order to get into tenpai. All right. No. So
After you cut, don't you just need two
more
tiles?
tiles. Yeah, 2 more tiles. I'm bad at counting today. I'm sorry.
I guess now that I think about it, there's a lot of opportunity to miss the sanshoku as well. So
So do you want the overlap ryanmen weight, or do you want the ryankan? I guess.
well, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
I mean, I would just much rather backfire on 1 so and so backfire on 7 mon.
Why is that?
If I backfire on 7 mon, right, it means one of my weakest block is still weak. Whereas if I backfire on one so, my weakest block is still relatively stronger.
So you think the ryankan is stronger than the ryanmen, I guess? Is that what you're saying?
I'd rather keep it stronger by not getting rid of the Amon. I don't know. I can't tell where any of the Zozos are.
See, I thought part of this was you're keeping 8mon as a safe tile for Shimocha.
I think I factored that in as well while I was playing, but no, I wasn't looking just right now.
Yeah, because I don't see a problem with just cutting the 8mon and taking 6 blocks here.
Is
Like
there...
if you draw 4 so after cutting 8mon, are you gonna cut 2-3 or 2-3 so? Like you're not, right?
No. So to answer the question of is keeping ryankan better than keeping 2 overlapping ryanmen? It's sounds like a no.
But,
I mean, it depends.
Wait, what?
No, normally having Ryanmen is better because it also improves your final shape. But like here, if you cut the 2-3 so, you lose tile acceptance for 1 so. That's just one type of tile. But if you cut your ryankan, you're losing tile acceptance for 2 types of tiles eventually. But if you just cut one side of your ryankan right now, you're still only currently losing acceptance for 1 type of tile. Does that all make sense?
that sums it.
So I don't see why you wouldn't just cut 8mon and 6 blocks right now, because the downside of 6 blocks is it makes your eventual Ishanten worse.
Right.
But this hand in this state does not suffer from that problem yet.
Okay.
That was a little greed. If you don't cut if you draw 4 so, right, and there's a summon there, like you're trimming down the manzu even more, right?
Right.
And that removes the sanshoku chance.
So
No, I just want more value.
I don't know, man. It's so easy to miss the sanshoku.
Yeah, and 2 sunmans is not bad. And you get Paifu.
Like if you cut 2-3 so and then you draw like 7 so, wouldn't that be kind of bad?
Yeah, you would need 4 so and 1 or 4 pin and 5 mon, right?
I thought like even sorry, why is it bad?
Because you just cut a ryanmen for a ryankan, and you missed sanshoku, like it, which is like the most likely scenario that you'll miss.
If I draw a 7 so.
I mean, if you draw 7 so, you draw 7 pin, you'll miss the sanshoku.
But the other one is like if I even draw 4 so, I also miss the sanshoku.
Unless you're willing to cut 2-3 so. But then you could still miss it on 7 pin.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a way higher chance of sanshoku if you go down that road.
I mean, it is much higher chance of sanshoku if you don't throw away the sanshoku. That's generally how it works.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think it's likely enough to keep worse shape. Like, I'm okay keeping the 4-6 mon around for now while it's not interfering with our other blocks, but as soon as we get down to Ishanten, I'm cutting the manzu.
Makes sense.
Unless, of course, we draw the 5 mon first. But I do agree that it's hard to tell where the Sozu are because there's literally none discarded, and the Manzu do look better. But I don't think that is enough to overcome this and just straight up cut one of your ryanmen.
Okay. Was that the only turn in this hand?
For me, that's the only comment I had on
Okay.
Bryant's hand.
I'm gonna move over to south too, if that's all right with everyone.
That's all right.
Sure.
Okay.
South to discard 3, or like, I guess I'm debating whether or not to call. So I guess I don't know. Does the hatsu ever come out? Sorry, can you just step through it and see if hatsu comes out? I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, okay. Whether or not I should call this. I don't know why I'm hesitating to call this, because I guess it's just like I'm locking myself to bad weights. I mean, it is 2,000 points, but each on 10.
What else would it? What's the alternative if you don't call?
Just draw it myself.
Draw 3, so draw 3 mon, throw a
Something
pair,
like that.
and then wait on shuffle or a penchan.
Yeah, wait for improvements. And I mean, the pairs could become ryanmen's. I don't know. Looking at it again, calling seems pretty straightforward. So I think calling is just better here.
I think calling is just better, yeah.
Weights are bad, so might as well speed up the hand.
Well, it's not that the weights are bad, it's that the improvements are kind of tough.
Sure. Yeah.
And the question is, like, yeah, I think that you should probably call this if you're planning on winning the hand. It's going to be hard to finish this men's end anyway, but I think a more interesting question is, after you call this, which pair do you break up?
Sure.
Good question.
I mean, to me, okay, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter too much, but maybe that's just maybe not even technically success sets up Suji. So, I mean, and then safety wise, it seems like both are equivalent. And then I don't imagine I would ever try to change my shape here. I guess technically,
You wouldn't?
say I throw 6060 and then I draw 4 mon, I could, like, in a world where 1 mon is safe and there's like I draw dangerous tile somewhere else or something, I could shift it over.
What if you
Yeah.
draw, like, let's say you throw, let's say you pong and throw 6-0 right now,
Sure.
right? Leaving the 1-6-0. And then you draw 7-0 next turn or 5-0 next turn. Will you switch to it and get rid of one of your penchants?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I would.
Why
Just
not?
because I don't want to call for 1,000 points.
Again, 1,000 and 2,000, I don't think it's a big deal.
I mean,
Well,
it's
Riichi Book
double.
1 would say
It's
prioritize like shape over value, right? If your hand is
well, Rigi Book would actually prioritize value over shape until 300,
oh,
340.
okay, yeah, but 1,000 and
But
2,000.
I mean,
and then like I might end
if
up
that's the
with a
case,
penchan
you can
anyway.
break up a penchan, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't
Like,
need a
I think,
sanshoku. If we're
yeah,
going,
at that point,
yeah.
you give up on Sanshoku, right? Like, at this point, if you call Haku, then you drop 1 mon if you're just going, if you're okay with 1,000 over 2,000.
But I think there's a path that should also be considered after you call it, right? Like you might want to consider switching out one of your pairs. Into eventually too. Like you have some intermediate state.
Yeah, like you say, like I draw 1 so afterwards, then It would be 2 pairs, but with better shapes.
I mean, like the best thing to happen would be like you call haku, right?
Mhm.
You cut one of your pairs, and then you draw non, and then you get rid, like you complete cutting that pair, and then you change into you can switch into chanta.
I
Yeah.
think I think chanta is a little bit far, but what I was getting at, if I could go back to, why I was talking about the 6-0 versus 4-mon pair discard, is that like if you are willing to switch to a ryanmen, then if you draw like a 5-mon, that becomes penchan overlapping with ryanmen, and you can just get rid of 1-2, right? I guess it doesn't really matter, but because
No,
the
it matters.
yeah, I can't really, the 2-4-4 is already a thing, so 1 is kind of redundant in that sense. Maybe there's another better way to explain what I mean.
I think what you're saying is like, say something attaches to the pair that you're keeping. You want that to be stronger, right? So like say I throw 6-0 and then I draw the 5-mon, like you said. Like I'm gonna keep the if I'd probably discard the 6-0 again, but now I have overlapping shapes like 1-2 and the 4-4-5 are technically overlapping. Is that what you mean?
I
So like
think here's another way to put it. If you draw 5 or 7 so, then boom, you got your ryanmen. But if you draw 3-mon, that just finishes your 1-2-3, and then your 5, only the 5 can improve that 4-4, or you would need another 3. Is that a fair line of thinking?
Yeah, like it's harder to improve the manzu if you if you cut a 4-mon.
Very subtle, I guess, but
sorry, it's harder to improve the mons if you cut a manzu, but you wouldn't want to try to if you're cutting the 4-mon, are you looking for I guess okay, sure.
I mean, this is assuming you're looking for sanshoku, but like we kind of touched on, I don't think it's worth narrowing your shape as much just for the extra 1,000. But I do like what Bryant said about the potential chanta because it's not impossible. Like haku chanta, um, sanshoku dora too. That'd be pretty good.
Sure.
Even
But either
without
way,
that, right?
either pair allows for that, right?
Either pair would allow for it, yeah. But that's why I'm saying you probably don't want to completely forgo your sanshoku.
I guess the other thing is like if we keep the 4-mon pair, like say we keep the 4-mon pair, we discard 6-0, then we draw non, and then we draw let's say we draw 3-0, discard the other non, and then discard the other 6-0.
Yeah.
So no, wait, am I?
No, because if
No,
you
that'd be tenpai. I mean,
if,
sorry, if I draw another non, I discard 6-0, and then
well, I mean,
technically
you
I can have 2 pairs, right? With
uh,
basically I would have 2-4-4, like this one mon.
hold on.
Sorry.
When you call this haku, you have to
Mhm.
cut one of your
Right,
6-0.
right. So sorry. So to do the scenario again, call haku, discard 6-0, draw non, discard 6-0,
Huh.
and then draw another non. Then I can discard one mon, and then have the stronger blocks here because then I have 2 pairs, right? Because it's attached to the manzu.
Yeah.
Or no, I guess let's I guess that's a counter to chanta, but it's still. I mean, not as dora, and I guess you can replace non with a non-dora, then maybe you would go for chanta instead. I don't know. I guess there's more options with the keeping the 4-mon pair. You can consider chanta or a wider shape.
Yeah, because like it doesn't even have to be the non to look for chanta. Like you cut a 6-so, you pick up random chanta tile. Like maybe it's a safe tile, maybe it's a hatsu, and then you just cut the other 6-so and you pair up that chanta tile. Then your value goes up to 39.
Yeah.
In that case, you would throw a 4-mon there, or do you throw 1-mon?
It probably depends, on the board and which tile it is. Because like if it's a Yakuhai, then you could call it for your 2000, and you don't really need the sanshoku, and you'd
Mhm.
rather just have the better chance of winning.
Right.
But if it's like if it's not Yakuhai for you, then you might want the extra value. It just depends.
Sure.
So conclusion is cutting 6-so from the shape, if you're choosing between one of your pairs, I think is the better pair to cut.
Very nice.
I clearly thought about all of that when I discarded the 6-so.
Oh, very smart. Very smart.
Thank you. Actually, yeah. Okay. Actually, this it does happen in discard 7. Eventually. So, oh no, I guess one before this. Sorry, discard 6. Whether or not I wanted to keep this chun for chanta. I didn't think. I actually didn't think about that in the game. I should have. But I think what we discussed, we should just discard the haku, right? Keep the chanta chances alive.
Would you say that also applies for the 9-so, or no?
I guess so. Yes, I guess technically yes. Chun is better because you can actually gain a.
Right.
But yeah, it does apply to the 9-so. I just completely didn't think about it in game.
I mean, part of it is also the safety of the tile. Like 9-so, I wouldn't necessarily want to keep around because it's not really a safe tile. It's safe against Shimocha, but at least Chun is a honor tile.
I mean, it matters. It matters. Definitely does matter. No one wants to combos, right? Soccer.
No.
Okay.
Oh, if Aaron said no, then that means no one wants to.
Okay, I had nothing else about this hand. I think conclusion was keep the chanta tile.
Yeah, I think I wrote down some notes while I was playing.
Yep.
That I had. I wrote down manzu honitsu question mark for when I was looking at your discards, and I was like, huh, that's kind of. I was like, it doesn't really feel like manzu honitsu to me, but it just so happened that like up to here, right? It was like it's possible. From my
Really,
position.
with the 9-mon first cut.
Yeah, that's why I was like question mark. I wasn't very. I don't know. Is like a hint, but not really. I don't know if you would feel that way.
I think you should be more worried that their hand is fast.
Okay.
Right, because they cut middle tiles. They cut a pair of 6-so.
Wait, if they cut a pair of 6-so and then Tsumugi eat everything afterwards, like, can you say they're tenpai? Like what?
No. Ishan 10 are better, probably.
Ishan 10 are better.
Yeah, that's what you'd normally think is Ishan 10 are better.
Okay. And then I also had some notes about my toyman, which was Bryant. And then I saw the 4-pin. Well, actually, wait. Let me see what happened here. You did 4-pin and then 1-pin later. Is this because 1, 2, 3 sanshoku?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Where and just like what? Find a pair somewhere else is the plan.
I mean, you only get 1, 2, 3 sanshoku if you pair up 6, 7, so right?
Right. So that's why I was wondering.
Wow, Bryant really looking for sanshoku this hanchan.
It's not like the 4-pin does anything for your hand anyways, right? Even if you get the 5-pin.
I'm surprised Bryant wasn't looking for tanyao.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising actually. Any you were just thinking about Sanshoku only, right?
Do I cut if I go for time 1-pin?
That would
Yeah.
make sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because this hand, it's going to be hard for it to become sanshoku.
Yeah, and then you cut one here, so clearly you were giving up on Sanshoku at this point.
Kind of has to.
Wouldn't ping fu Ipeiko be good enough?
Yeah.
I thought it was enough, so I was
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sumo.
Oh, okay. Anyways, moving on. South 3.
South 3. You can step through this probably. My question was whether or not I want to force Honitsu here.
You want to force Honitsu here?
Yeah, like
You
by discarding the 4/5 ryanmen here. Yeah,
The
I
thing
mean
is
I
you
ended
don't
up
have
doing
any
it.
you don't have any Yakuhai, right? So it's gonna
Yeah,
be
so I
hard
have
to
just Honitsu. Just
Menhong.
Menhon.
That's still manga.
Menhon reach
Wow.
Menhon Sumo. Or
Menhon
I
cheat
guess the
play.
follow up is like, do I call east or north when it comes out? I mean, if I'm discarding the 4/5 one, I feel like
I would have a hard time calling east and north.
Well, the real question should be, what do you want from this hand? Like, do you want value, or are you just trying to win?
I'm still treating this like a flat situation, honestly. At least in
Oh.
game. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. But my mentality in the game was probably just like, I want to win. I mean, I want it in the hand, but I want the I'm still like balancing value versus winning here. Maybe I should be thinking it differently.
I mean, I feel like
I mean, it is South 3, so
you don't have to be completely determined to go for either at this point. I mean, nice. You can still get Honitsu even if you cut Niso.
go.
But then personally, I'll be looking on the board and probably just try to move it around, try to secure a second.
Yeah, I feel like because you don't have any like Yakuhai, like maybe you pair up Haku, which would be good. Calling for a Honitsu only hand that might be Honitsu only is probably not something I would do. Because you would have to, get rid of 4 or 5 and then any other suits that come your way in the future, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you just let all the tiles come in and just play efficiency, then maybe you could just, reach Paifu or something. Reach Paifu. It's already worth more.
I guess this even goes back to the turn before.
I want to comment just as a supplement, not saying that this is the reason why you should play Honitsu, but Riichi here is like I would say is worse than normal because after you throw out your stick, you get out down placement if you don't get it back.
True.
I'm also not sure that keeping this hand closed and going for Riichi would necessarily be faster than Honitsu, or even like or even worth, because if this ends up just being Menpin, like you might as well just call for the Honitsu. It'll probably end up as like 26.
Okay.
And also, if you try and keep this hand Menzen for Riichi, and not look at Honitsu at all, you'll probably end up having to cut like either your tone or pay. Like you're not gonna end up on a tone pay shanpon most of the time because those tiles will probably get cut before you even get to tenpai. That being said, I am totally okay just calling both tone and pay and looking for Honitsu no Mi.
Okay.
I mean, look at the points they drew. I guess I do want to put myself in manga and sumo range for South 4, which is I'm only like 3,000 points, right?
3,200 points away.
100 points away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would
Which
have
I
to
can get there with sumo. I can get there with 200 sumo. Can I?
I
No, I
mean,
can't. I mean, maybe
it would have to be
26,
40 fu, right?
40 few. It's possible with sand. But
But should you be more worried about that or
the
keeping
30,000.
second place?
I guess it does depend on the Uma here. I like gunning for first, but
Uma's big. If you drop
I
to third,
mean,
you lose 20,000 points.
yeah, I mean, I guess I would just take the 230 if it comes. I guess I wouldn't like reject it. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
I guess the question is like, which one do you give more priority?
Well, luckily both are the same, or like both the Honitsu like kind of accomplishes both, right? If we determine that Honitsu is the fastest
It's over
to
50%.
call, then it's both the fastest and gives us a chance to put ourselves in position to overtake first. So luckily in this situation, I feel like there's not too much of a difference on how to play the hand
26 enough to get with him on
on the
sumo?
sumo, I think, right?
Only on a
6
sumo.
plus 7. Yeah.
Also on direct runs.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, on direct hit, you only need, 16?
Mm-hmm. I usually think of things in sumos, but maybe that's also incorrect. As in, like,
Usually, all right.
yeah, just try to build the hand in that direction.
So, I guess regardless of whether or not you would call before, would you call with this shape?
Okay, so we're still Ryanash on 10.
Yeah, this is 6
So
blocks.
I think we're still okay. Well, now we actually have like potential value keeping it closed, like beyond the men's and Honitsu. I mean, Ipeco chances, I guess. If we keep it closed, I would probably call. I'm trying to think whether or not it's actually right or not. Like my instinct is would be to still to open it up.
What do you think, Aaron?
I would probably call.
Is anyone looking at the potential for Toitoi?
I wasn't, but
I was when we were looking at Honitsu. Or a lot of pairs.
Now that we paired up Tuso, I think it's a lot more realistic.
Right.
Boom.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could even cheat toy.
I guess he has. Okay, I do open up here, but I guess this kills like both Toitoi and.
Boom.
But I mean that's fine because it's
Yeah.
gotten kind of late.
Yeah. Oh, I guess here's interesting. Like, do I take the 1/4 weight or the none, no cut north, or two
Two
and
so,
two
which
so,
there's one left.
or just one and one left with 3 1-sos, or like with the kabe on the 3 so. I guess the kabe on the 3 so also strengthens the 1 so in the 1-4 weight. So that, I mean, that's why I took it. But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
I think it makes sense to take the 1-4 so.
Okay.
Because like you can't really know where the pay are.
No.
Yeah.
Usually 1-4 so is natural, right?
봄. 롱.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. This is South 3, right? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about my hand and a mistake that I wanted to just show everyone.
지, 봄.
Was it this one?
봄.
No, it was the
롱.
one. It was indeed the one.
Let's go through your first call or something.
Oh, my first call?
지.
What about it?
Do we like this call?
I kind of don't.
Why not?
I mean, it's feels like it's taking on a bit of risk for not a lot of value.
Well-
And I mean, also you kind of don't need the value, I guess.
Yeah, the main thing is to be able to end this Kyoku safely, right? Because once you do that, then you're the last dealer and you have a pretty decent margin above second.
Yeah, and then if you're gonna call it, what are you supposed to go for, the itsu or the sanshoku?
지.
Well, that's why I did this. I keep both.
Okay, but in the long run.
In the
I mean, I do think it's. Sorry, I do think it's it is probably the fastest to open up here. So I don't hate it. You probably just want to end the scene as soon as possible.
But
So
I mean, you're not even close at this point, right?
yeah, but if you I mean, yeah, I mean, it also doesn't like strengthen your. I mean, it doesn't improve your weakest blocks. You're not calling for your weakest blocks. But if you don't get the Sanshoku or the Itsu, then I don't know. I guess you're just hoping that the penchans fill in.
봄.
I don't know. I think it's interesting.
I mean, you don't have to win this hand. It's not like it's imperative.
True.
I wrote down 1 pin was a mistake here.
Is it?
I kind of forget why I wrote that down. I mean, I guess I must have reacted to the 3 pin call, and so I just wrote down 1 pin, and then I wrote 1 pin was a mistake.
I mean,
I guess you can say like if you're gonna. No, never mind.
I don't.
지.
It's probably fine. But anyways, the main point I wanted to point out with this hand was,
봄. 롱.
okay, at this point, right? This is the main point. I can see that Shimocha is clearly Honitsu only. right? With all the yakuhai out already, and then just these discards, right?
Mhm.
And so I wrote down here, dealing into Honitsu only is probably better than trying to dodge and potentially dealing into like kamicha.
I mean, what if you didn't deal into either? Because dealing into Shimocha still puts you at risk, right? Like, you're within Monsumo range at that point.
Mm.
Yeah, I like dealing into neither.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
usually default to that
And
one.
so safe. 2 pins relatively safe.
Okay.
8 mon also.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 mon, 9 so, 2 pin.
Yeah, you could probably just fold.
Okay. All right, let me write down. Dealing into no one better is the best.
Oh,
Deal into no one is best.
TIL.
Don't deal in.
Don't deal in. Don't have to. All right. Moving on.
I guess why do you make the flip to say that dealer is tenpai, or like you need to start like only playing safe tiles against dealer?
Against dealer. Let's see.
I mean,
Pom.
it's kind of no
This-
different from like the reason you don't want to deal into Shimocha. Like dealing into
Pom.
almost anything to dealer will bring you within Mongun range of.
Sure. So, but I mean, like, do you just like bail after the 3-pin call? It doesn't. To me, it doesn't scream tenpai.
See,
So
I think. Do you want to take the next draw? Because like it's totally
Pom.
fine up to this point, right?
Wait,
Oh,
up
no,
to
keep going.
sorry, up
Go.
to
When you draw the 5 so.
when I draw the 5 so.
Right. So when you get to this point, I think it's pretty reasonable to look at this hand and say, I don't think I can safely progress anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that's what flips this over. Because you don't know that the dealer's tenpai.
Right.
You don't like Shimocha is probably tenpai after those calls, after the overflow. And I mean, we don't really know about Toyman either, but it's not a question of whether other people are in tenpai. It's whether or not it's worth even risking it with this hand in this shape.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think the answer is pretty clearly no, it's not worth risking anything.
Agree.
Because you're gonna have to throw 7 mon, you're gonna have to throw 5 so, and then you're gonna have to throw anything else that doesn't progress your hand.
And like you can't even know if you're gonna get the Sozu to finish your Itsu because of Shimocha.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's just less about the other players at this point and just about, or I guess, sorry, it is about the other players because you can't progress safely.
Yeah, I think this extra 5 so is what tips it over.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I
like
mean,
you could have
everything else
maybe
you just could.
yeah, like you could have maybe pushed 7 mon, and like I wouldn't assume that Kamicha is tenpai. I wouldn't assume that Toyman's tenpai either. And 7 mon's obviously not going to deal into Shimocha. But once you get this 5 so, that's 2 kind of dangerous tiles that you're going to eventually have to push, along with like what Bryant said, everything after that.
I
So
didn't
if
see.
you say you drew the 4 stones out of this 5 so, pushing the 7 mon's okay here because you guarantee Itsu tenpai? Or is it still too dangerous to discard the 7 mon here, like in this board state?
I think it's a little dangerous.
It's a little dangerous, but if you're tenpai, I mean, it's a lot more excusable. Like it definitely would not be strictly wrong.
But you still think it's wrong.
No, I wouldn't think cutting 7 mon for tenpai is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, like we don't know that Kamicha's tenpai.
What if we drew the 7 so instead of 4 so?
That's a little more difficult.
It's probably just better to start folding and save some points.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't even need to be the one taking risk this Kyoku. And this goes all the way back to the initial 1 so call.
Right.
Yeah, you like by calling for one of these yaku that requires 3 specific mensu, you're kind of backing yourself into a corner a little bit.
Okay.
And like it's fine if you can do so safely, but you definitely cannot do it safely at this point.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Okay. This is gonna be
Uh,
South 3-1.
Yeah. Discard 5. I have okay. Anything happen here? Oh no. I guess it's like in my position I am second.
Yes.
Technically like but dealer is coming close. This what did all I had was like, is the chun discard too aggressive here? Even though it just came out 2 discards ago. Like my hand is good. Well, could be good. Gets me closer.
Too
I do want to
aggressive?
end the deal.
No, I don't think it's too
No,
aggressive.
I
Okay,
don't think
cool.
so.
Cool.
To do what?
To throw
throw-
chun.
There's throw chun.
I don't think that's
Gotcha.
aggressive.
Yeah, it did come out like 2 turns ago.
I think you could cut chun even if it
Yeah.
had not been discarded.
Even
Really?
if it was 0, I would still do it.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
like mentampi shanta.
Cool.
And like
Good to know.
you could fix the pinzu shape. Like this hand is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yay.
Okay.
Do you think you can reverse the order of pay and Naimon?
Pay in 9 mon. You mean I actually don't know which one I discarded first. But here like 9 mon first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be the same question here too, then, right? Would it? Just 9-mon from the first turn? Would it be the same question, Bryant?
No, pay is safe.
Okay. I guess that's a bit different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is 2-mon doing anything for you?
It
Yeah.
is.
The
Air.
ryankan shape.
Oh, yes. Good. No, I was pointing it out for the audience who may not have noticed.
Yeah. How nice of you.
Yes, exactly.
Likely story.
What?
This
What?
is a teaching
You don't
moment.
believe me?
Do you blame us?
I can't. Sorry, I can't move the tile. So audience will have to use their imagination. This is 2, 4, 6, and then 5, 6, 7. Okay. This is just Ipeiko only. All right.
Nothing else.
South 4. All I had for, sorry, let's start with you, Anthony.
Yeah, I do on discard 9, I believe, or like somewhere around there. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
so
here.
well first,
Okay.
should we talk about like the
South four.
decision to look for Honitsu?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Monsumo way.
Maybe I would. All the things I just need a manga. Oh, points.
You could just get second.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, are you?
And I mean, I don't really have to. I feel like it's not really forcing. I mean, I'm looking at Honitsu, right, as a potential. I mean, I don't think throwing the 2 so is necessarily forcing it. If I draw the 8 so, for example, afterwards, I don't think. I mean, I'm not going to shift over If this 2-so was like a 3-so, then I feel like it's a little bit different. Just because it's
Yeah.
actually, yeah, you can get the ryanmen on both sides.
I think that's fair. But yeah, since it is South 4, like the conditions are clear, right?
Oh, nice.
Okay, so here, I guess here, this is a decision point. Double South. So I was thinking, I got double South Honitsu, it's a mangan, and then I just was like, okay, I'll try it. But maybe I should be more worried about just keeping second. And then cut like one of the one cuts, like one cut east.
Well, at this point, I think it's fine to look for Honitsu, and well, as long as you understand that, like, you're not necessarily going to end up as Honitsu,
Right.
because you're giving up on this 8-so kanchan isn't giving up on that much,
Yeah.
and the potential upside from the Honitsu is really big.
Like if
But,
it was
you
a
know,
6-7 Grumman, then the choice is probably just east. With the
mhm.
possible door acceptance, and of course you have a good
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah, and that's why, of course, you cut from the 9-so.
Yep.
I guess one
So yeah,
question I would ask is, would you react differently? Would you change your plan for going for Honitsu if Shimucha started calling for like tanyao?
Yeah, I think so. I think if it's reasonable that they could overtake me, which is, yeah, Tanyao is definitely reasonable.
Yeah, like if
With
they have
Dora
tanyao
being
dora, right?
5-so. Yeah.
Then you would change your plan and try to win before they do.
Probably have to balance it, but I think even after one call, it's probably time to speed up my hand.
yeah, I think that's a good balance.
Okay, here I mean I got the
Wow.
I paired up my haku, so I was like, okay, now I can just go for Honitsu. Yeah, I mean I did get good draws mostly. Wait.
But you kept the
So
8-mon.
I kept this because I wanted to disguise stuff. So I felt like I had all my blocks already.
Oh, you wanted to hide what suit
So I
it was?
wanted to try to disguise a little bit here. Like, oh, so because I didn't throw any manzu or pinzu here. So I was like, okay, I'll keep this 8-mon for a little bit before I reveal which suit I'm going for. Is that okay?
I think it's fine.
Because my blocks were okay. And I guess west is 2-cut, north is 2-cut.
Yeah.
And then
I think. Oh, go ahead.
and my blocks and pinzu were good. So
I think this depends on the players of the table. So at this, like with the players at this specific table, I think this is absolutely reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
because I mean, you don't know if other players, like in other environments that you play in, they might not pay attention to the fact that the 8-mon was Tadashi after, your honor tile cuts. But in this case, they will.
Makes sense.
It just depends on the environment.
Okay. Like if these weren't 2-cut, then I probably would have like maybe choices. But these were all 2-cut, so felt like I could get away with it. Okay, so I guess here yeah, so here was like, do I want to keep disguising or not? And then I ended up not. I feel like it's been long enough. I don't want to keep these tiles for that long anymore because it's getting late.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. That's basically all I had for this hand.
Wow.
Chi.
Didn't even need the double non.
Could still use it.
Riichi.
Yeah.
Rong.
What a Gyakuten direct.
No.
I think it would be a good question to ask is if the double non comes out, would you call it?
I think it's a good question, especially with the 4 pins and 7 pins out already, so it's not really improving that much. But this is Mangan guaranteed already, right? And
Right.
then double non, yeah, it doesn't improve the value. So it'd only be for weight improvements. GI, I feel like I've already discarded so many honors. So what could I be waiting on? Just White Dragon? I guess White Dragon Tonki is an improvement, future improvement.
I think another thing to consider is perception of from others. Because if you call non and then throw 9 pin, people are not gonna throw any pinzu anymore. Probably.
I mean, I think there's also like, if you call, you switch to a Tonki, which gives you flexibility as well, right? Like if you draw Dora,
Oh,
then you can
that's
switch
true.
to it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys drawing Dora. Well, technically, yeah, I would still have manga in there.
Not only that, but it also depends on how much weight you're putting on trying to get first, because you either need to direct hit or tsumo for first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, either
if
case, I would need to. Sorry, I guess you can finish your thought.
yeah, so if calling the double non gives you more flexibility to tsumo, then even if other players might not throw pinzu anymore, that might be to your benefit.
Because
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to roll them anyways. Because it would be not first.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you'll take second.
Yeah,
if it
you'll take
happens,
it, but you'll just be less happy about it.
So
But
what
yeah,
would be the difference in what I'm looking for like if I just want to find like what tiles are more assumable than other tiles that would
Well,
normally come out of my opponent's hands?
I think it's more that if you Tadashi a Pinzu, then others may not cut Pinzu anymore due to the overflow. And that gives you more time to Tsumo.
I was also thinking, like, if you call the double non, you don't need to keep the itsu anymore for Mongon, right? And you don't
Right.
even need to keep the hatsu. So if you, for instance, draw 3 pin after calling the double non, you could cut hatsu, make that your janto, and just have like a sanmen John for Honitsu.
Whoa. Very, very strong.
Yeah, that's right.
Good to be headless.
Mm-hmm.
You did not
Tonki strong.
Did not think about that potential improvement.
You have to think about beyond the hand winning.
So if I call non discard 9 pin, still probably, and then I draw 8 pin, do I take the free 10 summon John? I guess I can still improve with 5. I could just take 5/8 instead.
Yeah, that's an option.
Yeah. Because 4/7 is like 4/7 is like not great.
Yeah, like if you're calling the non and cutting the 9 pin, I don't think that you're expecting to win on the 4/7. It's looking for the future improvement.
Right. I guess my question was like, if 8 pin comes, is the furry 10/3/6/9 worth taking over the 5/8 like double tonky? I guess, which is
It would depend on what the other players are doing. Because if it looks like people are folding, then it doesn't matter if you're Futhi 10 or not. So you'd want the wider weight.
right. Right.
But if you're afraid that someone might push back, then you probably want the 5/8 pin. and then that way you could still cut 5/8 pin for a different tanki if you need to.
Yeah.
Because just maintaining tenpai is good enough to keep second place.
Right.
Yep.
If you're looking at the board as is right now, do you think other players are gonna push back?
I mean, I think Samocha possibly throw Pinzu. But again, if we don't need to run, or I mean, if we want to get first, then yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter with the
No, I'm
the-
saying after you roll non, right? You will have it already. It's Kiriagi.
yeah. I guess this question of is
Oh wait, no.
first place going to like stop throwing Pinzu? I mean, I think that's reasonable to say that first place will stop throwing Pinzu after I call south.
But
What about Toyman?
Toyman, I mean, I think both. Okay, I don't know how many points people matter, but to me, both Toyman and Samoja will probably. I mean, they haven't. If they have the right tiles, they will push Pinzu.
based on what?
Like, based on the value of their hand, if they can overtake or not.
I think there's another factor.
It's like, what can Shimocha deal into while still keeping their placement?
Yeah, I guess I can deal into 8,000.
Yeah, the other two players will not drop placement if they deal into Mangan, so they have no reason to really fold against Mangan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Of course, like if their hands aren't worth, then like they're not gonna throw away points because this is like simulating a league setting. But for the most part, especially for Shimocha, because they only need 2K to overtake you, you should
Mhm.
assume that they will push.
Yeah.
Like even being tenpai might be enough for them.
Yep. That's what I was thinking, but I actually think about the 8K difference between third and fourth. It's interesting. I guess that's another interesting question is even if third place is like 1,000 points down or even like 300 points down here, if they hit tenpai for enough value to overtake me second, it's worth it for them to take that and throw a potential dangerous Pinzi tile or like a dangerous Pinzi tile, but not necessarily the dealing tile.
So like if they had risk of dropping placement if they deal into
Right.
Mangan,
Right.
is that
Say
what
they
you're
had
asking?
281 instead of 284. And then they were tenpai for enough to overtake second.
Yeah, because they'd be potentially giving up one placement to potentially get one placement. And if this were like an online rank game, that would absolutely not be worth it. But in a league setting, since the since the difference in placement is consistent, it might be worth it depending on like their assessment of how likely they are to win and how likely the tile is to deal in.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends.
Fair enough. Yep.
Is
And I
this
think I would just take any run from anyone, of course.
I think that yeah, that's normal.
Yep.
But then of course you have to think in advance if you're going to call the double on.
Yeah. I was definitely thinking hard about it. I'm glad I didn't have to make a choice. I was also thinking about whether or not I wanted to I guess like the Itsu shapes, like don't want to keep the Itsu. Like I didn't actually have the choice here. Obviously I take the 2-pin here to keep the Itsu, but I think there are like draws I could have had that would have been tougher to make.
Like if you draw a 3-pin right now, what happens? What do you do?
Yeah, I guess that I probably was thinking about that.
I
What do
mean,
I do there?
if you draw 3-pin right now, like you could cut 9-pin if you're okay with taking second.
Right.
And then you pwn the double non if it comes out, and then you cut hatsu.
Right.
Yep.
I think that's probably the most balanced
Yeah.
when you go 3-pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, the difference between each placement is the same, so
It's the same.
you shouldn't be like willing to risk dropping placement because Shimocha's conditions are very easy, but to get first place from this hand state, it's going to be kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can find an easier path that also decreases the chance that you lose this placement, then it would make more sense, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you draw the 3-pin from this shape, I think I would take the Sanmenchan. And then just hope the double non comes out.
Mhm.
Makes sense. And then I guess we can talk about the other tile, like if I draw 5-pin, it'd just be a ryanmen. That's probably still worth it. I mean, it still doubles my weights.
Yeah.
5-pin's a little bit more more interesting. If you draw the 5-pin, I could see cutting the 5-pin and still waiting on 8-pin.
Mm.
Because then cutting 5-pin increases the chance that Kamicha
8-pin.
will cut 8-pin if they draw it.
Yeah, that is also interesting. I guess all the choices are because of the Suji, right?
Yeah. And they already cut a 7-pin, so the chances are they don't need an 8-pin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
If you draw 3-pin here and cut 9-pin, do you con the hatsu?
I con the hatsu. I'm assuming you mean if someone else throws the hatsu, do I con it?
It's already cut though.
Oh, is it already cut? Okay, my bad. But if it wasn't,
Yeah, I mean it's a good question.
Okay.
You diming?
Well, if
con
I
it?
self-draw it, I'm gonna con it. So
Oh
I
yeah. If you
guess the
don't
question
con,
is like,
then it's 360.
Yeah,
well,
yes.
you also
Yes.
get the the ring shot chance and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
guess the question is, do I diamond con it? I guess.
Do you diamond con it, hope and pray, or preserve, or hope and pray for non?
Is it 16, 18? Doesn't even put me.
My intuition tells me, and this is not backed by any like real analysis, but I would pray for the con.
Really?
If the non hasn't come out this far, is it gonna come out?
Can't
It
really
could just
say.
be in the wall.
Yeah.
It could.
That's why you pray.
Pray for the non.
I think that praying for the Dora or Rinshan from the Daimon Con is kind of too much. I think it's more likely that you're able to win a Mangan Sumo a different way if you don't Daimon Con the Hatsu.
So the only way would be to actually get the non, right?
I mean, you could still have the Itsu. This is like when you
Oh,
still have
sorry.
the
I think. Oh, sorry. I thought the scenario was that we drew the
after
3
you draw 3-pin.
What was that?
After you draw 3-pin.
Oh, after you draw 3-pin.
Yeah.
Oh, after you draw 3-pin, then yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right now I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be like, okay, let's Daimon Con for the 8-pin.
Yeah,
No, but
2-5.
Daimon Con, Rinshan, your Sanmenchan, like yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And then you could
Rinshan
still
chance.
pwn the double non and then cut like 7-pin, for instance.
Not completely dead, no.
Yeah,
Flip over and Yukon Dora and just get that's also Mangan.
yeah.
Chances there.
If you have the Sanmenchan, if you have the 3-pin instead of 9-pin, I could totally see it.
Even if it comes from Simoja. Or sorry, kamicha.
The hatsu.
Yeah, the hatsu. Because basically you're giving up your draw for the chance to increase the value. I guess that's reasonable.
I mean, you're
You're
getting a draw
only
still too.
yeah, you're getting it basically, yeah, you just increase your chance of getting a mangan. It's not like I'm gonna fold this probably.
I mean, it's going to be hard to fold this unless Kamicha's pushing. Like if dealer riichis, then folding isn't 100% out of the question. But
So much.
if Kamicha's no 10 and Shimocha's tenpai, then that's just the worst case scenario for you. If you
Yep.
fold.
That's true. So if Shimoja like reaches, then I can't fold. Well,
Yeah,
I guess I can see if dealers also reach, then I guess it's possible. I don't have to. I can fold, but like say dealer doesn't seem like they're keeping their tempo. Then
Mhm.
well, that's unlucky. I guess worst case just drop down to third.
Yeah, but like you have a pretty good chance of keeping second, so
Yeah, with the 258 weight. Yeah, that's true.
I mean regardless. Like you're already tenpai. Especially if you switch over to like a manchon, and then even after you daiminkan the hatsu, like it's more than likely that you're not gonna lose a placement.
All right.
Cool.
Any more questions or comments on this hand?
Not on this hand. I had a note. I forget if I wrote this after looking at your hand or before, but for some reason I had question mark written down for you, Bryant.
Okay.
I have no other context.
Where?
Just for self.
That's not helpful.
Okay, I mean I have one note for
Bryant's
or
hand. Yeah,
Bryant.
you want to go over that?
I guess we can step through it, but it's discard 5, I think. I don't remember what we discard. Oh yeah, we discard 3. So here, I thought that 8mon was fine. Here, I don't know why you necessarily need to search for more value here. I mean, technically, you even have 3 pairs here if you want Toitoi, but I was just thinking you have enough blocks, and riichi sumo is enough to overtake me. So you don't necessarily need to search for more than that.
I mean, this is looking for sanshoku, right?
Yeah, 789 sanshoku. Yeah, I guess.
Or even like, I mean, it's a little far, but something around the 3 potentially as well.
The 3 so.
Yeah,
So scrimping.
But I mean, you kind of don't want to reach here, right? Because then
Yeah, I
that
guess.
brings you within mangan range of last.
One consideration, yes.
But I
I guess
mean,
that's-
last already has mangan sumo conditions. You're just making it so that they can win mangan from anyone. And if you riichi, like the dealer's probably not going to push. Because if they deal into mangan, they would drop to second, right?
Right.
So I don't hate riichi in this situation. Like obviously if you can make the 2K without riichi, that's great, but this hand is looking kind of tough.
I remember when I was playing, it was number 1 scrimping, but also I thought there was like a chance that Kamicha is going for Honitsu already because of the Kanjon drop.
So you're not really.
Well, I didn't want to speed up his hand at all because my hand itself seems a little slow. That's why I wasn't willing to give up the manzu. But besides, the manzu has sanshoku, so all those reasons being applied is why I cut through. So
You have a bunch of dreams. So you didn't want to speed up my hand? Like, you think I'm going to call the Amon, for example? Or I have the potential of calling the Amon?
you just blocked me from second, yeah. And I also need Tuhan.
So then the one mon is just you wanted to improve the Sotsu with the 889.
Yeah. One mon is that, and also wait no, one mon is mostly sakigiri.
For kamicha, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It just feels like the hand is slowing down way too much. But I guess...
I don't know. I'd probably just not worry too much and just play the hand straight.
Which would be what?
I mean, it would be cutting 8 mon the turn before.
Hmm.
And then once you get this, it would have been, your fourth pair. Like, you might look for Chitoi.
Right.
But that would be kind of tough too. This hand's just bad.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Why is your hand so bad?
Didn't pray enough, sorry.
It's improving.
Chi.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can secure Tanyao, that'd
Don't.
be pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have some time for any other hands that we want to go over.
Well, I think... Okay. Oh, does anyone else have anything? I thought it was an interesting choice by Bryant at East 1. East 1. I guess I'll just go straight to the interesting. I think discard 7. Yeah, here, I guess the choice was, do you take the Yushan 10 or do you look for value here? And I mean, I like the way that it got played here to keep the Dora and the Sanshoku chance by keeping the 4-so, 7-so. But I guess I just wanted to talk about whether or not people agree with that or if they want to keep the Yushan 10.
Mm. I think it's fine. You're going back a block to hope to form another block around either the 4-so or the 7-so. Benefits being 4-so, you can accept Dora. You can build a ryanmen, of course. But I mean, I guess you could. That's not really a reason because you could always upgrade your 4-6 pin ryanmen to a ryanmen. But the sanshoku with the 7, so. I mean, personally, I probably wouldn't go back though. But I could see it.
I mean, you do get a lot of improvements if you keep the Pinzu shape, I think.
Yeah, you can.
So
You can improve it to a down. You can improve the 4-6 to a downman on either side. Is there a difference between cutting 4-pin and 6-pin at this moment?
Oh, that's a good question. I was going to ask that.
I feel
the
like
backfire drawing 5 pins less bad when you cut 6 pin.
Yes. I think I agree with that. I mean, your Pinsy shape it's is really good, even if even if you end up very 10 on the Pinsy weight after, like, say you discard 6 pin and then draw 5 pin, your weight is like insane.
yeah.
I mean, you could also just end up cutting a pair, and then you won't be fully
Yeah.
10.
True.
Also,
I
if you
mean, I
cut
guess you have eBayco chances if you keep the 6 pin, but
Anything else to add?
I guess
Yeah,
I
I
still
think
don't know what's better.
I think I wouldn't touch the pins at all. There's just a lot of movement possible there.
I don't know. It's East 1. Like, you could get value from this. I'm okay going back a Shanten.
I think I'm too small brain to go back at Shanten, but I see it.
Would you discard the 4 pin or the 6 pin, Nima?
I mean, probably just the 6 pin, because if you do draw the 5 pin,
Yeah, for the
you,
better
you
weight.
I mean, it's more of you can get Paifu.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just
Hmm.
I guess technically you have easy chances too.
All right. Well, if nothing else, I guess we could just end it here.
Yeah, I think that was it for me.
And of course, if there's anything else that comes up afterwards, you could always just ask in the chat. But I guess we'll wrap it up here for the video. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Andrew, for participating here. Thank you, Bryant. And
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
this was a great discussion. And hopefully we can, do more of these in the future like this.